North Dakota Senator Kevin Cramer met with the big tech giant on Thursday, and he joins us now. So, Senator, I imagine that this executive order brings down the price a little bit, puts pressure on TikTok to sell at a cheaper price. Microsoft, if they buy it, should American taxpayers get some kind of finder fee, as the president was talking about?
Well, David, thank you for the opportunity. I'm glad you asked that question first, because this is an area where the president and I do not agree. I think that the finder's fee for the taxpayer are the taxes themselves, not just the income taxes of the company, but the many the income taxes of many employees. It's my understanding that Microsoft could expect to add as many as 15,000 American jobs as a result of an acquisition like this. And who wouldn't love to have a legacy American company like Microsoft, who, by the way, has their second largest campus outside of Redmond, Washington, in Fargo. So our interest here is more than just national security, although that is the highest interest. Senator, so yeah, I think it can work.
Before we leave tech, I want to focus on Facebook's banning of this Trump PAC. It comes back to the idea of protecting these companies, these social platforms, as they're called, from Section 230 that protects them from litigation. Right. Now, if they're just a platform that don't do any editing or censoring, fine, they should be protected from litigation. But if they're a publishing company that edits and censors and everything, then they're responsible for what's on their platform, and they should be exempt from this Section 230, right?
There's no question, David. I couldn't say it as eloquently as you just did, because that's exactly the point. You have to choose. Do you want to be a utility, or do you want to be a publisher? Do you want to be an editor? If you're a censor, if you're engaging in censorship, that puts you in a whole different category. So you're right. The 230 protections relate not to somebody who's a publisher.
Yeah. All right. And let's move over to the next edition of a COVID bailout bill. You are against extending unemployment insurance benefits. Have you talked to employers who say that these benefits really do disincentivize workers from looking for work?
Well, let me give you a couple of statistics from North Dakota first. North Dakota's unemployment insurance benefit is already $529 a week. I don't have to, tell you that 600 added to that is, that adds up to more than $28 an hour to not work. I have heard more complaints about the unemployment insurance bonus of $600 than any other part of the CARES Act. In fact, all of the other complaints don't add up to this one. And it's not just from employers, by the way, which obviously they're having trouble getting their workforce back when people can make more money staying home. And by the way, throw on top of that what I believe is an exaggerated fear factor. And you're going to have a hard time getting people to work. But there are also people who are working. Their neighbors are essential workers in grocery stores and in medical facilities and on the front lines. Right. And they're not making as much required to work as their neighbor who's not working is making. Senator, that is perverse.
I wish we had more time, but just 10 seconds. What's happening to those wonderful frackers in your state? How badly were they hit, and are they recovering now that oil is creeping back up in price?
It's creeping back up in price. We need to get it a little bit higher. We need to continue to focus on it. They're showing some losses, but there is a stabilization taking place. Obviously, there'll be some consolidation, which is probably necessary. But between the state of North Dakota and the market action, what we need, of course, is the market back. We need that demand back.
All need that.
But remember too, though, that we're running up on the expiration now. Into the expiration of the Saudi OPEC Plus deal. So we need to make sure that we aren't going to participate in allowing the flooding of the market by some of our international competitors.
We can't have negative future prices for oil like we did. That was a pretty wild moment. Senator Kevin Cramer, great to see you, sir. Thank you very much.
Good to be with you, David. Thank you.